All right, good evening. Welcome to AC Transit's Rapid Corridors Project Public Information Meeting. My name is Robert Del Rosario. I'm the Director of Service Development and Planning for the district. Tonight's public information session will provide information about our Rapid Corridors project for Telegraph Avenue and West Grand Avenue in Oakland. I will be providing some housekeeping instructions and brief opening remarks. Then we will move into a project presentation of approximately 35 minutes. This meeting will be recorded and will be posted to our project webpage. Next slide. First, closed captioning is available by clicking the CC icon in your Zoom control panel. You may select the language that is appropriate for you. Secondly, we have simultaneous interpretation in Spanish, Chinese, and Korean for this meeting. Everyone should have been prompted to select a language upon entering the meeting. For participants that want to listen to the meeting in English, you will see the little globe icon in your Zoom control panel and select English from the menu. Thank you all for your patience as we work to ensure equal participation for our non-English speakers. Now, I will quickly review how we will take questions this evening. Next slide. We will have a question and answer portion of the meeting after we provide a presentation with the project background. If you are watching this meeting on Zoom, please utilize the Q&A box that has been activated for this meeting. We will be answering these questions verbally for the benefit of participants listening by phone. We will not be calling on any hands except for those joining us by phone to ensure accessibility. If you are on the phone, press star 9 to raise your hand. If you are interested in reviewing additional materials about the Rapid Corridors project in Oakland, please visit www.actransit.org/rapid-corridors. Let me spell that out for you. www.actransit.org/rapid-corridors. And I'll pause here so that folks can get eliminated. Next slide. So welcome again to the virtual meeting of the Rapid Corridors project in Oakland along Telegraph Avenue and West Grand Avenue. Tonight's meeting will provide you with an opportunity to get an update on the construction timelines and general impacts on the surrounding area. This meeting will largely be focused on upcoming improvements and next steps during construction. We will also be answering questions about the design of the project. However, we are not soliciting feedback on the designs as we have concluded the design phase. We'll hand it over to Maria to cover a quick rundown of AC Transit. Thank you.
Good evening. Thank you, Robert, for opening the meeting tonight. My name is Maria Henderson, External Affairs Representative in the Legislative Affairs and Community Relations Department here at AC Transit. Thank you for joining us tonight and for your continued support of our bus system. AC Transit prides itself as being the largest public bus system in California and the third largest bus-only transit agency in the United States. The bus service we provide is essential to the regional economy and for the riders who rely on us for their everyday trips. We are still in ridership recovery from the pandemic, but we are back to approximately 75% ridership, carrying nearly 150,000 weekday riders and almost 40 million riders annually. A majority of our riders are traveling to and from Oakland. We are getting 30,000 students to and from school every day. AC Transit serves as a critical role in the Bay Area's transportation network, connecting with 16 other bus systems, 25 BART stations, 6 Amtrak stations, and several ferry terminals. We also have 2,200 employees across our facilities and offices located in Richmond, Emeryville, Oakland, and Hayward. AC Transit has always been a lifeline for many, and our bus service has always been a critical component of the fabric of many of our communities. A quick snapshot of our demographics shows we have 65% of our riders who are low-income individuals, 75% of our riders are people of color, 43% are transit dependent, meaning that they do not have access to a car and rely on us as their wheels to get around. I will now hand over the presentation to Casey Bruno, Senior Transportation Planner, who will share more details on the Rapid Corridors project.
Thank you, Maria. My name is Casey Bruno, again, Senior Transportation Planner at AC Transit, and I'm pleased to speak with you about the Rapid Corridors project. So tonight's presentation is on the Rapid Corridors project, and the Rapid Corridors project implements many recommendations from AC Transit's 2016 Major Corridor Study. The Major Corridor Study recommends transit improvements to help buses run faster and more reliably on 11 major corridors, carrying more than half the people who ride AC Transit buses. Next slide, please. This presentation will focus on the transit improvements along the Telegraph Avenue and West Grand Avenue corridors. The design phase for Telegraph Avenue wrapped up in winter 2022, including outreach related to the design process. The work that is currently underway along Telegraph Avenue will include traffic signal improvements and bus stop enhancements. The design phase for West Grand Avenue was wrapped up in 2021. Traffic signal improvements are already completed, and that was done in winter 2023. The work that is currently underway for the West Grand Avenue corridor includes bus stop enhancements. And now that we're finally ready to deliver the projects along these corridors, we thought it would be important to reintroduce it. Next slide, please. So this phase of the Rapid Corridors project will implement transit improvements on the Telegraph Avenue and West Grand Avenue corridors in Oakland. The goal of the Telegraph Avenue Rapid Corridors project is to enhance reliability and reduce travel time for bus lines 6 and 800 by improving traffic signals and upgrading or relocating bus stops. The project includes a bus stop space change from every 2 to 4 blocks. The West Grand Avenue Rapid Corridors project aims to enhance reliability and reduce travel time by improving traffic signals and upgrading or relocating bus stops. Again, the traffic signal improvements along West Grand Avenue were already completed in 2023. And the work that is coming includes bus stop changes to enhance operations for bus lines 12 NL and 805. Next slide, please. The Telegraph Avenue Rapid Corridors project will implement traffic signal improvements along 4 miles of Telegraph Avenue from 20th Street in Oakland to downtown Berkeley. Changes to bus stops south of 51st Street have been made through the city of Oakland. North of 51st Street, the Rapid Corridors project will implement longer bus stops, bus stop relocation, bus stop optimization, and sidewalk repair. Lines 6 and 800 run along Telegraph Avenue. Line 6 connects downtown Berkeley and downtown Oakland. It is one of the highest ridership routes in AC Transit, having approximately 5,114 weekday riders. Line 800 is an all-nighter route operating between midnight and 5 a.m. It connects the East Bay to San Francisco. Line 800 travels on Telegraph Avenue between 20th Street and Ashby Avenue. It has 440 rides on an average weekday. Next slide. The project limit for the West Grand Avenue corridor is from Euclid Avenue to Mandela Parkway. Between Euclid and Mandela, This project will implement longer bus stops so that buses can safely pull to the curb. It'll include optimizing bus stop spacing to better serve our riders and sidewalk repairs. Lines NL 12 and 805 run along West Grand Avenues. Line NL connects neighborhoods along West Grand Avenue, MacArthur Boulevard with downtown Oakland and downtown San Francisco. Line NL is one of the highest ridership routes with 2,400 weekday riders. Lines 12 and 805 operate on Grand Avenue. Line 12 is a local service route connecting various commercial districts in Oakland and Berkeley, including Jack London Square, downtown Oakland, Grand Avenue, Piedmont Avenue, and Temescal. Line 12 serves approximately 2,500 weekday riders. And lastly, Line 805 is an all-nighter bus service connecting downtown Oakland to the Oakland Airport via Grand Avenue and MacArthur Boulevard. Line 805 serves 94 weekday rides. Upcoming transit improvements include moving stops for better pedestrian and bicycle access, extending red curbs for better bus access, optimizing bus stop spacing, improving traffic signals, and repairing some sidewalks. These proposed improvements will provide several benefits, including reducing travel time, enhancing transit reliability, and improving access to and from the bus for transit riders. In the next following slides, I will provide a more detailed overview of these 5 improvements. So there are 2 types of bus stop locations, near side and far side stops. Near side bus stops are located immediately before crossing an intersection, and far side bus stops are located immediately after crossing an intersection. Far side bus stop relocation means that buses will spend less time waiting at red signals and that pedestrians will be provided with improved visibility when crossing the street. Next slide. So by placing a bus stop on the far side, the bus operator can use transit signal priority for faster travel through signalized intersections and can pull straight into the stop because there are no parking spots behind it. This bus stop improvement also means that pedestrians will be provided with improved visibility from incoming traffic when crossing the street. This project will convert many of the near side stops along Telegraph Avenue and West Grand Avenues into far side stops. Something to note is that parking will be removed from new far side stop curb areas, but will be added to the previous near side stop locations. And this will be discussed later in the presentation. Next slide. Some bus stops will be extended, which requires a longer red curb. Longer bus stops will provide buses with more space to align with the curb and improve accessibility for riders of all physical abilities. When buses can align fully with the curb, bus operators can safely deploy ADA bus lifts and allow riders to land safely on the sidewalk curb rather than the roadway. Next slide. In reviewing bus stop locations and spacing, we considered several elements, including land use, ridership, bus operations, safety, and stop spacing, or how close or far the previous stop to the next stop is. Bus stop locations will be adjusted to achieve desired spacing to balance ease of access to bus stops and efficient bus operations. In the project area, this means reducing the total number of stops along a route by removing some stops that are too closely spaced or otherwise not optimal. This project will align bus stop spacing more closely meeting the AC Transit Board Policy 501 bus stop guidelines. Traffic signal improvements. such as transit signal priority or TSP will also be implemented through this project. Transit signal priority allows buses to request priority upon arrival, and the signal can grant additional seconds of green light to reduce time spent waiting at red lights. The retiming and synchronization of traffic signals will help provide adequate crossing times for people walking and biking through an intersection. Coupled with signal coordination and retiming, transit signal improvements will improve transit service reliability and reduce travel time. This signal equipment can also be used by the city's emergency vehicles to get on scene more quickly. Traffic signal improvements will be implemented only along Telegraph Avenue from 20th Street in Oakland to downtown Berkeley. The West Grand Avenue corridor already completed the installation of traffic signal improvements in 2023. Next slide. Some sidewalks at the existing and new bus stops will be improved. Rebuilding some sidewalk areas and paving some portions of dirt planter strips to provide access to bus doors and space for ADA bus lifts. At some stops, bike racks, planter pots, and other street furniture will also be moved to provide ADA access. These changes improve safety and access for passengers of all ages and abilities. Next slide. Making these improvements will result in a few trade-offs. Adjusting bus stop spacing and having longer bus stops will result in faster travel time, service improvements, and reduction in transit delays. In areas where bus stops are removed, some additional parking spaces will be gained. In areas where we are proposing longer bus stops or new bus stops, parking spaces will be reduced. We will review these parking impacts later in the presentation when we describe the bus stop improvements in more detail. Next slide. This map provides an overview of the bus stops that will be added, improved, removed, or will remain as they are today, as well as locations of traffic signal improvements. The filled green circle indicates a bus stop addition, and the red circle with an X indicates a bus stop removal. 4 of the proposed removals are to shift a near side stop to a far side stop, while the others result from bus stop optimization to achieve the board-approved spacing for bus service. The green circle with just an outline indicates a stop whose location is to remain, but will have improvements like repaired sidewalks or longer bus stops. The gray circle indicates bus stops that will have no changes. South of 51st Street, bus stop changes have been delivered through the City of Oakland. This AC Transit project will include only traffic signal improvements on Telegraph between 20th Street and 51st. In the project area between 51st Street in Oakland and the South Side neighborhood in Berkeley, there are currently 35 bus stops. After implementing the bus stop changes, there will be 21 bus stops. Next slide. So similar to what was shown on the last slide, this is the project element map for the West Grand Avenue corridor. It gives an overview of the bus stops that will be added, improved, removed, or will remain as they are today. The main difference are the stops that are marked with a green circle with a check mark symbol. This symbol indicates recent improvements that were completed by the City of Oakland last year as part of their West Grand Avenue repaving effort. Overall, AC Transit recommends adding 1 pair of bus stops on West Grand Avenue at Rush Street as there was previously a large spacing between bus stops. We're also removing 1 pair of stops on Grand Avenue at Stanton Avenue so that the distance between the bus stops at Perkins Street and Euclid Avenue is approximately a 1/4 mile in either direction. This change will help reduce travel time of buses and improve transit reliability. Next, Val Buller will go over detailed design concepts by block for both Telegraph and West Grand Avenues. But at this point, we will take a 30-second break to allow interpreters to catch up.
Thank you. Thank you, Casey. Good evening, everyone. I'm Will Buller, AC Transit Traffic Engineer. I'll be walking you through upcoming bus stop changes throughout the project area. I will start with segments along Telegraph and then along West Grand Avenues. To make reviewing the specific details at each bus stop change easier to understand, we've broken down the project areas into segments, starting with the south end of the project area and moving north. In addition to changes to bus stop spacing, you'll notice many bus stops are relocated to far sides of signalized intersections. Segment A contains bus stop improvements from 51st Street to Aileen Street. The project will remove the southbound bus stop at 52nd Street and a pair of bus stops at Aileen Street intersection. A northbound bus stop on the far side of 51st Street will be added where the City of Oakland installed a short transit lane. The near side northbound bus stop at Claremont Avenue will remain. At the 55th Street intersection, the project will relocate the northbound bus stop at 55th Street intersection from near side to far side and maintain the southbound near side stop. These changes would create one net additional parking space in this segment. Segment B contains bus stop improvements from 58th Street to 60th Street. The project will remove two bus stops, leaving northbound bus stop at 59th Street as is, and improving the existing far side southbound bus stop at 59th Street with an extended curb for added safety and accessibility benefits. These changes will help reduce the travel time of buses and improve transit reliability. The pair of far side stops at 59th Street helps to best optimize bus stop spacing between previous and next bus stops in each direction. The net change of total parking spaces is an additional 3 spaces. Segment C includes improvements from 62nd Street to Alcatraz Avenue. The project will remove one pair of bus stops at the 62nd Street intersection. The southbound near side bus stop at Alcatraz will remain in the same location, but see some bus stop level improvements. The existing northbound bus stop at Alcatraz will be left in its current far side location. Optimizing bus stop spacing and relocating to far side in this way can help to reduce travel time and improve transit reliability. The net change of total parking spaces is an additional 4 spaces. Segment D contains bus stop improvements from Woolsey Street to Prince Street. One mid-block bus stop between Prince Street and Woolsey Street will be removed. The bus stop does not have a pair in the opposite direction. This bus stop removal will help optimize bus stop spacing and improve safety. A far side bus stop pair with sidewalk improvements are proposed to be added at the Woolsey Street intersection. The new proposed pair of far side bus stops at Woolsey Street is important because they set up an efficient bus stop distance between previous and next bus stops in each direction to optimize transit reliability and travel speed, as well as providing access to bus stops. In the segment between Woolsey and Prince Street, there will be a net loss of 6 parking spaces. This concludes the bus stop changes along Telegraph Avenue in Oakland. Now I'll move on to the bus stop changes along West Grand Avenues. In the segment A between Campbell Street and Mandela Parkway, the city of Oakland relocated the pair of bus stops at Mandela Parkway last year as part of their West Grand Avenue repaving project. So the improvements in this segment have been implemented already. In segment B, near Adeline Street, the project will extend the existing eastbound bus stop. The city of Oakland already relocated the westbound bus stop to the far side location from near side as part of their West Grand Avenue repaving. There will be a net loss of 1 parking space in this segment. Segment C includes the area near Market Street. At this location, the city of Oakland relocated the westbound bus stop from near side to far side during their repaving last year. The existing eastbound bus stop will remain in its current location. Segment D contains bus stop improvements near Brush Street, with an addition of 2 new far side bus stops in each direction with sidewalk improvements at the westbound stop. There will be a net loss of 8 parking spaces in this segment to make these changes. This new bus stop pair would allow transfer to transit service along San Pablo Avenue, where lines 72, 72M, 72R, and 802 run. This new pair would also provide access to bus stops where bus stops were not previously available. Without this proposed bus stop pair, the existing bus stop spacing between West Grand Avenue Market Street intersection and Thomas L. Berkeley Way San Pablo Avenue intersection is a half mile. Segment E covers improvements from Parkview Terrace to Perkins Street on Grand Avenue. At this location, the project will improve the westbound near side stop and maintain the eastbound near side stop at Parkview Terrace. The pair of bus stops in both directions at Perkins Street will be improved. The eastbound stop at Perkins Street will receive a red curb extension and shift the existing bike share station for easier bus alignment to the curb and improve access for transit riders. The westbound stop is proposed to include no parking or stopping signs to discourage truck loading and will paint the words bus stop on the pavement. These improvements are aimed to decrease potential conflicts and traffic delays to improve transit reliability and reduce travel speed. There will be a net loss of 2 parking spaces for this segment. Segment F covers improvements from Staten Avenue to Euclid Avenue. At this location, the pair of bus stops at Staten Avenue will be removed. The removal of the pair of stops at Staten Avenue makes it so that the distance between the bus stops at Perkins Street and Euclid Avenue is approximately 1/4 mile in either direction. This change will help reduce the travel time of buses and improve transit reliability. The eastbound far side stop at Euclid will be improved with a red curb extension for improved bus alignment and boarding accessibility. The red curve is extended at the eastbound Euclid stop to improve bus access. The westbound stop at this intersection cannot be moved to a far side location because of street trees and a bulb out. There will be a net gain of 4 parking spaces in this segment. Now I'll hand it back to Maria, who will go over the stakeholder outreach efforts for this project.
Thank you, Will. So we have conducted extensive outreach during the design phase, including meetings with city council members, community stakeholder groups, property owners, and businesses. We conducted a virtual community meeting on the design. We met with various business improvement districts and the East Bay Transit Riders Union. The project's design phase, including outreach related to the design process, wrapped up in winter 2022. And we recently held briefings for Oakland City Council members for the at-large District 1 and District 3 seats. The project resumed in the fall of 2024 with work focused on administrative tasks and securing necessary permit approvals. The actual physical construction on Telegraph Avenue began at the beginning of January 2025. Construction crews started the work in Berkeley and will make their way to Oakland next month. Construction crews will start their work in mid-February in Oakland, where they will focus on curb and concrete work. In March, their work will include bus stop improvements and relocations and pavement markings. Between March and April, their final work will include all the traffic signal modifications. The project is expected to be completed by April 2025. During construction, there will be some temporary traffic disruptions. There may be some bus stops in the construction zone that may be temporarily relocated. We will be notifying riders of changes in advance through our AC Transit e-news notifications and our social media pages. You can also check on bus stop information on our website at www.actransit.org. We aim to keep construction activities limited to weekdays from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. And throughout the construction work, we will make sure that our construction crews minimize impacts to the public by maintaining clear signage and making sure there's safe access for residents, businesses, and commuters to the bus stops. We also conducted some outreach recently. We sent out letter notifications informing residents within a 300 foot radius of the project boundaries of the upcoming construction work that's going to take place. And we also will be going out 72 hours in advance of construction to notify residents, businesses, and property owners again of what is to come. Thank you everyone for listening. This concludes the presentation portion of the meeting. We will now move into the Q&A session.
Thanks, Maria. Are we
Oh, with one,
Oh.
just a little housekeeping announcement again. So with that, we are ready to transition to the portion of the program for comments and Q&A. Many of you here tonight live, work, and travel on Telegraph Avenue or West Grand Avenue and Grand Avenue, and we want to hear from you. Again, you can use the chat function on Zoom to ask any questions or provide feedback. So again, first, for people viewing the presentation on a computer or smartphone, please use the Q&A function. If you are watching the meeting on the Zoom platform, you can press *9 if you're calling in by phone. Please remember that this meeting is intended for public information and to reintroduce the project, as it has taken a couple years to reach the implementation phase. We have completed the design phase, so feedback should be limited to construction and project implementation. However, if you have questions about the design, feel free to ask them now. We're going to be taking a 1-minute break. Okay, Tammy, are we on gallery view?
Yes.
Thank you for confirming. So thank you, everyone. We have 3 panelists tonight here from AC Transit. We have Casey Bruno, Senior Transportation Planner, and Will Bueller, Traffic Engineer. They both presented earlier this evening. And we also have Trinity Nguyen, Vice President of Program Management at VSCE, who is helping with our construction management of the project. And I'm going to turn it back to Robert, who will start the Q&A.
Great, thanks, Maria. And I will go through the questions in the Q&A and feel free to add additional ones. The first question, this one is, I will take this first question. Thanks for the presentation. Excited to see faster and safer buses. For red zones, how will we keep these stops free from stopped vehicles? Buses I ride frequently encounter delays from vehicles and transit spaces. Thank you. Great question. AC Transit and a number of transit operators advocated for the passage of an Assembly Bill 917, I think it was a couple of years ago, that allowed transit agencies to enforce bus stops to be clear via cameras on the buses. So all buses that are public transit in California have a number of cameras on them. And AC Transit has those forward-facing cameras that are able to detect when there are vehicles in our bus stops. So we use that technology to now enforce people who are illegally parked or stopped in the bus stops, and we can give them tickets through this automated process. So that started sometime late summer of last year. And we've had some successes in seeing that our bus stops are more clear now. It's not every vehicle in our system is equipped with this technology, but we are able to deploy these vehicles throughout our system so that we can do some enforcement. So that's a big feather in our cap in order to improve enforcement of keeping bus stops clear. Okay, I'll go to the, let's see, this question is for Casey. So Casey, why is the near side stop at 55th Street not being converted to far side?
Hi, yes, thanks for that question. So at locations where existing near side bus stops are not being relocated, the decision was made to keep them in their current location for various reasons. Most primary reason is there's likely insufficient curb space of landing area in the far side of the intersection to move the bus stop and maintain accessibility due to a driveway or any physical limitations of the curb space and sidewalk. It could also be because it would require removal of healthy and mature trees that would be needed to allow for the bus stop relocation. And additionally, the near side bus stops that are not being relocated are at signalized intersections where pedestrians have protected crossing conditions. And so for Telegraph and 55th, the likely reasons are due to insufficient curb space and no availability of landing area.
Thanks, Casey. The next question is for Will. Is there a maintenance plan for the traffic signal improvements? What happens when a signal transponder stops functioning?
Thank you. Yeah, that's a good question. We have a cooperative agreement with the cities so that when something happens that's related to the TSP equipment, they will troubleshoot it. We will troubleshoot it together, and then we'll provide the equipment. And if they want, we'll also provide support in installing the new piece of equipment. But that's in a cooperative agreement, yes, and the city has entered into the agreement with us to maintain all the interests of the project, including all the improvements, the signal, the coordination, new controllers, etc.
Thanks, Will. I'll take this next question. Are there plans to increase frequency for these lines, especially the 6 and the 12? We're just about to put in a major service change in August of this year. The 6 and 12 do have some adjustments, but I don't know if we're going to significantly increase the frequency on these routes. Maybe just by on the shoulders of it all. But we do have challenges with limited resources right now, both in funding as well as in number of operators that limit us from trying to improve service to the levels that we'd like to. But it is something that we're always focused on and have longer term ideas of trying to improve the frequency on these routes. The next question is for Will. Hopefully you're involved in the design, but this is about Staten Street. It has an urgent care center on that intersection, and Perkins Street has a gas station. So the former of those seems much more useful to have a bus stop there. Have you checked with the urgent care center? Sorry that this is a design question. Well, I don't know
Yeah,
if you
if I recall, we looked at this very extensively, and we did reach out. And so there was an analysis done with the existing parking that's allowed in front of that facility, along with the relocated location of the stops, and that combined with the other issues that we took into consideration for location of bus stops, proximity to signal, near side, far side, and other generators. That's how we decided on that particular combination and location.
Great, thanks, Will. The next question, maybe I'll take this one. Will there be longer term plans to add red lanes? We're always looking for opportunities to add dedicated transit lanes on our trunk line corridors, including the ones that we're discussing in this meeting. West Grand and Grand did have a vision plan or study set forth by the City of Oakland that did have a potential for dedicated transit lanes, but we have to do some further studying and develop a plan for that. Telegraph is a little bit trickier. We can do pockets of queue jump lanes, which this project does have. But the geometry of Telegraph, given the road diet, the bike lanes, as well as the parklets out there, it's pretty tough for us to try to plan for dedicated transit lanes. But for our corridors as a whole, all of our trunk line corridors, we're doing a major corridor study update at some point, and we'll look at where transit lanes are feasible on our trunk lines. The next question is for Casey. I've had problems where a bench for a bus stop is far away enough from the stop itself that a driver might assume I'm not waiting for that specific bus. I have low vision, so I often don't know that my bus is coming until it is here. When talking about moving street furniture to keep loading clear, will benches and shelters be sufficiently close to the signage?
Yeah, great question. Yeah, so for street furniture that will be moved or relocated through this project, like benches, it will be sufficiently close to the signage and the bus stop to maintain sufficient ADA clearance and achieve access for all of the bus riders of the stop.
It's Casey. The next question, maybe Trinity and Maria, you can tag team on this one, and Trinity, you could take the first part, and then Maria, you could take the second part. The first part of this question is, will there be any travel impacts such as road closures during construction? And if so, how can I learn about them in advance?
Thank you for that question. Let me go ahead and start with that. There may be some travel impacts during construction that you would experience with any roadway project. The project team will provide advance notice of any closures or detours and will work to ensure a safe and efficient travel route remains accessible at all times. In particular, if you'd like to get the latest updates, please sign up for AC Transit e-news, and that's actransit.org/subscribe. Or you can use the ACT real time, which is actransit.org/RT. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Trinity. And just to add on that, this will be our final virtual public meeting that we're holding for this project before we start construction in Oakland. Again, I mentioned earlier that we will be, we've sent out letter notifications to property owners, businesses, and residents who might be impacted by the projects on Telegraph and West Grand Avenues. And we will also have our VSE outreach team going out to the businesses, residents, and property owners to 72 hours before construction kicks off to ensure that they have the proper notification and information on how to proceed. And again, you can follow us at actransit.org/rapid-corridors for more information. And again, please sign up for our e-news. That's again actransit.org/subscribe. And you can pick what information you choose to receive.
Thanks,
Robert,
Trinity. Thanks, Maria. Yes?
did we have any other questions?
We can take one or two more I have here, and then that should wrap it up. So Casey, are you removing any bus shelters at bus stops?
Great question. So for bus stops that are being removed and will no longer be active and currently have shelters, yes, we will be removing those shelters because those stops will no longer be active. However, I think it's important to note that AC Transit doesn't own or maintain bus shelters or benches in Oakland. The city of Oakland actually has their own shelter program. So yeah, for any bus shelter related issues or questions, residents can send inquiries to the city of Oakland's reporting system, OAK 311, I think by dialing 311 as well.
Great. And this will be our final question that I see. So Will, do you want to take this one on? Are bike improvements included in this project?
Thanks, Rob. Sure. Yeah, not on this project. Travis signals are the primary element of this particular project. In some projects, we do include bikes, etc., but not particularly in this project.
Thanks. Well, Maria, that's it for the Q&A. So I'll turn it back to you to close out the meeting.
Great, thanks, Robert. Just gonna share my screen one more time. All right, so we'd like to give a big thank you to everyone who joined us this evening. Recordings of this meeting and the PowerPoint presentation, along with additional project information and AC Transit contact information, will be available on the project website at www.actransit.org/rapid-corridors. Thank you again to everyone who participated this evening, and have a great rest of your night. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and